Are proxies acceptable in Magic the Gathering? I'm talking about fake versions of cards not intended to look like the real card, not intended to fool you into thinking that they are the real card. These are not counterfeits. Counterfeits are completely unacceptable. I'm not even having that conversation. But like everything from writing Force of Will in Sharpie on the back of a card, to slipping a piece of paper from a FedEx office into a sleeve, to even like printing out alternate versions of cards that look cool that have fake Magic backs because you don't want to play your expensive version of a card in your deck, you'd rather play a placeholder. Or maybe you just don't own the card yet and you wanted to build the deck, so you decided to just Sharpie the whole thing, and that's how you're testing the deck out. Whatever you want to define, however you want to define it. There is a contentious conversation that exists on the internet about this. Now, my opinion of this is, I will do this with cards that I don't own, when I don't own them, right? Like, I have expensive cards in my collection, there are cards that I don't own, and I want to build the deck, so I will use a placeholder until I have the real card, right? If someone sits down with me and their entire deck is proxied, I don't care. I don't care if it's a proxied volcanic island. I don't care if it's a proxied forest. It doesn't matter to me. I want to play Magic. And so if that's the deck that you have, maybe it's because you can't afford the cards. Maybe it's because you have them, but you didn't bring them with you. Maybe it's because you're building a deck and you only own a third of the cards that you want for the deck and you haven't gone for the ones that you haven't gotten yet. Whatever. However you want to define it, I have no gripe with anybody who proxies anything. Magic is an expensive collectible hobby. I think Wizards is very aware of the fact that the hobby has gotten very expensive due to premium versions of cards. That being said, there are affordable entry-level versions of most cards that you can get for quite inexpensive relative to those super fancy shiny ones, which ultimately makes proxying or placeholder cards, whatever you want to call, a little bit less necessary. Now again, I want to reiterate, counterfeits, fake cards, people profiting off of your expectation of buying a real retail product is the scum of the earth in my opinion, because people do get scammed and it's horrible, it's awful. And I think the only people that think that's okay are the ones who are profiting off of the suckers. But for instance, in my decks, I'm just as likely to play like a $1 Stormkiln Artist Foil right next to a fake Time Twister. I don't own a Time Twister and I wanted to play one in the deck, so we've got a fake one next to it here that is clearly fake. Magic, in my opinion, is a rule zero game. In a tournament setting, in any kind of sanctioned environment, you have to play real Magic cards. There's no such thing as a proxy or a placeholder. You need to have the real card. But if you're playing casually with friends and you say, hey guys, I have 3 proxies in this deck because I don't own these cards yet, and the people are like, that's fine, great. If they say, we'd rather you don't have that proxied guy as Cradle if you don't have a real guy as Cradle, you need to respect their wishes and either find a different play group or be willing to compromise in that particular game. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with playing cards that you don't own as long as you're transparent about it with the people you're playing with, in my opinion.